This one is an invitation for a grand celebration.
Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education. The Honorable Samal Duggins, Minister with responsibility for small business, entrepreneurship, cooperatives, and the creative economy. Ms. Delreen Taylor, Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Small Business, Entrepreneurship, Cooperatives, and the Creative Economy. Ms. Robertine Webb, Director of the Creative Economy. Mr. Jerome Rollins, Chief Executive Officer of the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation. Staff of the Ministry, members of the St. Kitts and Nevis CARIFESTA 15 contingent, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning again and welcome.
Good morning.
We are here at the Pre-CARIFESTA 15 press conference hosted by the Department of Creative Economy to gather and celebrate the creativity, talent, and spirit of St. Kitts and Nevis as our delegation prepares to take the stage at CARIFESTA 15 in Barbados. From music to dance to visual arts, theater, and storytelling, our artists are ready to share the heart and the soul of our federation with the Caribbean. Truly, culture loud, SKN proud. We'll now invite Director Robertine Webb, Contingent Lead, who will give opening remarks and speak on the vision and preparation of our delegation thus far. Please join me in welcoming Director Webb.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
CARIFESTA, the Caribbean Festival of Arts, is the region's premier celebration of shared culture, creativity, and heritage. It provides a platform for artists, performers, and cultural practitioners to showcase their talents, engage in meaningful collaboration, and strengthen the bond that unites the Caribbean. For St. Kitts and Nevis, sending a delegation to CARIFESTA is not just an opportunity to perform, it is a strategic investment in our creative industries, tourism development, our youth, and our cultural diplomacy. This year, our delegation brings together approximately 100 talented individuals from across both islands, representing a wide spectrum of disciplines such as performing arts, which includes theater, dance, music. In music, you have singers, musicians, timpanists. Visual arts, agro-processing, literary arts, crafts, fashion, cosmetic arts, folklore, heritage, film, and more. Each participant reflects the richness and diversity of our Federation's creative life. It is an opportunity of a lifetime, as many of our participants get to participate in over 100 workshops that develop their creative capacity. In Barbados, our contingent will shine across several key platforms. Artisans will exhibit their work in the Grand Market, showcasing the skill, creativity, and cultural heritage of our craftspeople. Our country booth will be led by the Ministry of Tourism and National Carnival to promote our national festivals and overall tourism products. Performing artists will take stage in super concerts, delivering high-energy musical and dance performances that embody the vibrant spirit of St. Kitts and Nevis. Our youth author, Corinne Clark, will represent us in the literary market, demonstrating the talent and promise of the next generation of Caribbean writers. And at Country Nights, all of our artists will unite in a powerful, immersive production of our nation's culture and creativity, highlighting our exhilarating festivals, National Carnival, St. Kitts Music Festival, Nevis Culturama, bringing together music, dance, storytelling, and visual expression in one unforgettable performance. The journey to this moment has been one of careful preparation and close collaboration across St. Kitts and Nevis. Artists, administrators, and support teams have worked tirelessly to ensure every detail reflects our nation's excellence, from rehearsals to logistics, exhibitions, and public engagement. This coordination underscores the power of unity in showcasing our culture, and the pride we take in representing St. Kitts and Nevis on regional and international stages. We are confident that CARIFESTA 15 will provide our delegation not only with a platform to perform and exhibit, but also opportunities to with opportunities to form meaningful partnerships, expand creative networks, and inspire new ideas that will enrich our cultural landscape at home. Thank you for supporting our delegation as we proudly bring the talent, culture, and creativity of St. Kitts and Nevis to the Caribbean and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Webb. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Jerome Rollins, CEO of the NCDF, who will share insights on Nevis's participation and the special contributions of our division artists. Please welcome Mr. Rollins.
Good morning to one and all. Kindly allow me to adopt the protocol. Morning all. It's an exciting time for the creative industry in St. Kitts and Nevis. It's an exciting time for what we call the orange economy. And so CARIFESTA 15 is an exciting time for St. Kitts and Nevis, and for Nevis in particular. For this CARIFESTA 15, the Nevis delegation comprises of the string band, and you guys saw it performing at the music festival this year. It also performed at the Antigua Carnival, I think it was a breakfast festival, and so we're taking them to Barbados. One of the key reasons for that is to allow the string band to get some more regional and international exposure, as this genre is one of the unique genres coming out of St. Kitts and Nevis. You don't see it in too many other islands. We're also taking representatives in the areas of steel pan, painting, media, etc. Now, as far as the NCDF is concerned, the NCDF is the driving force or the operational side of the CARIFESTA. So the NCDF, in conjunction with the Nevis Island Administration, has put this together to ensure that the orange economy in Nevis is well represented in Barbados. Since I've been the CEO of the NCDF, we did CARIFESTA in 2017 in Barbados. We did CARIFESTA in 2019 in Trinidad, so we're back in Barbados again. So there's some level of familiarity with Barbados. So that should make it smoother for both St. Kitts and Nevis. The Nevis Island Administration has funded the Nevis aspect of this trip, and I just want to place on record their full support behind CARIFESTA, and to show that the Nevis Island Administration stands fully behind the development of culture on Nevis. So on that note, I wish to thank the entire members of the Nevis Island Administration. I wish to thank the entire population of Nevis for giving support, because across the board we're hearing from persons that they're happy that we're going to CARIFESTA, because initially they thought we're not going. And so there's some level of excitement to see the St. Kitts Nevis flag waving, and more so in particular to see their family and friends down there representing the Federation. Thank you.
We are delighted now to welcome the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, Deputy Prime Minister. However, he's here in his capacity as Minister of Education to speak on our youth delegation and the impact of cultural exchange for our young creatives. Deputy PM, please join me at the podium.
Thank you very much, my primary school student. Honorable Samuel Duggins, Minister of Creative Economy et al., our permanent secretary, hard-working Taylor. I can't say my baby girl Webb, because she's a grown young lady now, but Director Webb, Mr. Rollins, those persons from the media, other staff members, it's indeed an honor for me to be here this morning supporting my brother and the government by extension in this venture. It's a pleasure for me to join today as we prepare to celebrate and showcase the vibrant cultural spirit of St. Kitts and Nevis at CARIFESTA 15 in Barbados. I am proud to announce that our youth contingent will be participating in the Youth Village, a dynamic space supported by the OECS. This year, our delegation includes 24 talented young individuals, students, emerging artists, and youth leaders who represent the diversity and creativity of our nation. Their participation is more than symbolic. It is a meaningful investment in the development of leadership, creativity, and cross-cultural understanding. Through workshops, performances, and exchanges, our youth will gain invaluable exposure to regional perspectives and artist traditions, helping to shape them into well-rounded global citizens. This initiative, of course, aligns seamlessly with the Ministry of Education's commitment to holistic education, one that nurtures both academic excellence and cultural growth. We believe that education must extend beyond the classroom, and this experience at CARIFESTA proves a powerful platform for exponential learning, or experimental learning. I wish to extend heartfelt thanks to the principals, teachers, parents, and officials who have supported this journey. Your dedication ensures that our youth are well prepared to represent our nation with pride, curiosity, and respect. As we send off our contingent, let us reaffirm our ministry's commitment to fostering regional and international cultural exchange opportunities. These experiences enrich our educational landscape and strengthen our bonds across the Caribbean. To our youth ambassadors, I say to you, travel safely, engage fully, and return inspired. You carry with you the hopes of a proud nation. Thank you.
Well, there you've heard about our wonderful contingent, over 100 creative young people, because we're all young at heart. Don't mind, we're not in high school. So now we'll hear from P.S. Taylor, the head of the delegation. So please join me in welcoming her as she provides an overview of the ministry's support for CARIFESTA 15.
Good morning, all. Allow me as well to adapt the protocol that has so ably been established. You heard it from all accounts. This is indeed an exciting time for our youths, our creatives, and our entrepreneurs. After a short vacation, some 7 years, I think, CARIFESTA is back. CARIFESTA is more than a festival. It is the Caribbean's cultural heartbeat. And you heard that from the director, Webb, earlier in her presentation. This year's theme is Caribbean Roots, Global Excellence. On the 22nd of August to the 31st, and our participation is not just a showcase of talent, but it is a strategic investment in our people, our culture, our economy. CARIFESTA offers tremendous opportunities for our creative economy. The Grand Market, as you would have heard earlier, and the Trade Hub in Barbados will give our creative direct access to buyers, distributors, and cultural investors from across the Caribbean and the diaspora. Their networking opportunities are endless, from panel discussions on cultural entrepreneurship to collaboration with regional producers and promoters. Importantly, this event also serves as a powerful platform to promote tourism. Every performance, every exhibit, every interaction serves as a live invitation for visitors to experience the magic of St. Kitts and Nevis, especially during our flagship event, the National Carnival Sugar Mass. The creative economy is more than an art. It is jobs, exports, cultural diplomacy. It diversifies our economy, creates pathways for youth development, and strengthens our national identity. The skills, network, and contracts gained from CARIFESTA, or the potential to gain from CARIFESTA, will will benefit not only the individual participants, but also our wider community, contributing to long-term growth and resilience. I must express deep gratitude to our cabinet ministers, including our Minister, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, and the Ministry of Finance for their support of this initiative. Without their commitment and investment, our participation in CARIFESTA 15 would definitely not have been possible. I would also like to extend thanks to Mr. Jeroen Wallins and his team at the National Cultural Development Foundation in Nevis and the Ministry of Education here in St. Kitts, whose partnership, collaboration, and coordination have been instrumental in bringing our delegation together. I call on the public, the private sector, the media to rally behind our delegation. Their success in CARIFESTA is a success for St. Kitts and Nevis. It is a reminder that our roots run deep and our excellence knows no boundaries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PS Taylor. We'll now invite the Honorable Samuel Duggins, who will highlight the artistic talent of our cultural initiatives and significance of CARIFESTA 15 for St. Kitts and Nevis. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our Honorable Minister.
What a beautiful morning, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What a beautiful morning.
It's raining.
That's beautiful. At least it's not as hot as yesterday. All right. But this morning, the creative soul of St. Kitts and Nevis really takes center stage, doesn't it? As I look around the room, I'm inspired by the faces. But not just that. I'm inspired by what is to be. But let me tell you how much of a privilege and honor it is for me to stand here as we prepare to wave the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis with pride at CARIFESTA in Barbados. Again, looking at the faces, I'm inspired because our delegation is a living showcase of creativity, a showcase of skill, a showcase of the very spirit that is found in every corner of St. Kitts and Nevis. You see, CARIFESTA, of course, is the largest cultural festival in the Caribbean. It is definitely a place where our region comes together, where our stories are told through music, through art, through craft, theater, dance, spoken word, and so much more. For St. Kitts and Nevis, it is our opportunity to stand on a stage shared by the entire Caribbean and say to the world, this is who we are. This year's delegation of about 80 participants, ranging from artists, artisans, performers, writers, designers, and cultural leaders, hailing from both St. Kitts and Nevis, as we see here represented by Mr. Rollins, each of them bringing their own unique piece of our heritage, piece of our culture and their creativity, and their own unique piece of our national pride. These delegates will go and represent our federation, and I know they will do it well. You see, the contingent that we have put together, it reflects the full spectrum of our cultural life, from the lively sounds of the honeybee string band, as you heard before, to the rich rhythms of our African drummers, to our vibrant dancers, to the expressive voices of our performing artists, and the rich melodies of the accompanying musician. It also embraces the skill and the imagination of our visual artists. And I see representation here in the room. I also know that it embraces the skill of our fashion designers. And again, I see representation here in this room as well. But alongside them, there's also additional talent. spoken word artists, and a dedicated media team whose lens and words will capture the heart and the soul of our time at CARIFESTA, ensuring that our story emerging from there is remembered and we are able to celebrate it far beyond the 10 days in Barbados. And I don't think we give enough credit to the media teams that go and capture and document these stories for posterity. But furthermore, I also want to acknowledge our youth delegation. And with that, allow me to give credit to the Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. And he spoke before on the idea of what the value of our youth delegation means. But I must add that the presence of this delegation is also a proud reminder that our culture in St. Kitts and Nevis, our heritage, our history, is not just stagnant, it is evolving, it is alive, and it is well. We are not only learning from this experience, but our youth are contributing to it as well. Their creativity, they bring in their confidence and the vision that will serve to keep the heritage of St. Kitts and Nevis strong for many, many years ahead. And I believe that is important to note. For us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and us at the ministry, CARIFESTA is also a place to forge partnerships. A place where we can open new doors for trade in the creative industries. A place to exchange ideas, a place to strengthen the bonds that make the Caribbean not just a group of islands, but the bonds that make the Caribbean truly a family. When I see persons here who hail from other countries, immersed in a group of nationals, and one may not even recognize who is who. That's what we talk about, Caribbean being a family. We are all one. And so, with the idea of having that family, it is also a platform for artists to find new markets outside of St. Kitts, new audiences to serve with their talent and their capabilities, and also for them to find new inspiration. Because oftentimes, we are inspired by our landscape, the people, the experiences of our country. It is also important when we travel to soak up that additional inspiration, to see new people and new aspects of the art, to witness new environments and immerse ourselves in them and be inspired by them, but also to take in other talent that we may be exposed to and learn from it. And that is the purpose of CARIFESTA and other activities like that. But as I wrap up, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to the Cabinet of St. Kitts and Nevis for their support in this endeavor. I also want to thank, in that regard, the Honorable Prime Minister, who could not be here this morning. I want to thank, especially so, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, who is here and who is also representing the Ministry of Education and the youth and their support. I want to thank, in a major way, the team at the ministry. And I want to stop for a moment to give the team at the ministry a round of applause. The Honorable Deputy alluded to, I see he gave the Permanent Secretary a new name. Hard-working Taylor. But I think it's fitting. And it doesn't just reflect the Permanent Secretary, but the entire ministry and the work that goes on. I am always inspired to lead a committed and dedicated team as you guys. Thank you for being as committed and dedicated but also congratulations for all that you continue to do, not just for the ministry, but for the entire Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you. I also want to thank here the creatives. Oftentimes, our society celebrates the end result of your work as far as the event you put on, the end product of your creativity. But too often we neglect the process and supporting that process. And I want to stand here and give kudos to many of you. Through the thick and the thin, the highs and the lows, you've stuck to your craft. You have braved every challenge that this world has thrown at you and remain consistent with your creativity. And it is that creativity that represents who we are. That is what gives life to any nation, and especially ours. You are the embodiment of what it means to be Kittitian, what it means to be an innovation. And I want to say to you here that that does not go unnoticed. And our ministry will continue fighting and rallying along with you. It is not an easy road, and we know that. It has never been. But it is a road, no matter how challenging, that we will all walk together. One hand in the other. And where we can help, we will always be there to support. So to our creatives, let's give them a round of applause. You see, a lot of times the work behind the scenes goes unnoticed, but I want to share today that it is just as important as the performances that we will see in Barbados. Because that cannot ensue without this work being conducted. And so to the team, again, continue the good work that you're doing. Continue giving your commitment and your best to the nation. And I'm sure, I am certain, that when we leave Barbados, we will leave Barbados as not only proud creatives, not only proud practitioners, but we'll leave Barbados as a proud nation, knowing that our flag was properly waved amongst all the other flags of the Caribbean, and that we stand tall among all the other islands, even as one of the smallest nations in the region. And so with that, I want to say again, good morning, and thank you all, and call on the general public to support our creatives, support St. Kitts and Nevis as we go and represent in Barbados for CARIFESTA. Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, so now we open for a brief question and answer session with the media.
Good morning, Devon Cornelius, ZIZ. 2 questions. First, the creative economy is increasingly being tied to tourism and economic activity. Are there any measurable targets for our participation in CARIFESTA this year in terms of what are we to gain economically? And secondly, what tangible benefits do you foresee coming out of our participation in CARIFESTA 15?
Now, considering that CARIFESTA 15 is being held in Barbados, from a tourism standpoint, obviously it's not directly related to the economics on the ground in St. Kitts and Nevis. But what we can say is that tourism is often boosted by visibility. And being in Barbados and that increased visibility, the essential hope and natural response would be to bring some of that back to St. Kitts and Nevis in terms of our carnivals, in terms of our music festival, but just generally bringing people back to our shores to experience who we are, what we have to offer. But beyond that, and maybe I could say it here because I believe we should be speaking it into existence. One of the things that we hope to do is to make a bid, hopefully for the next October, to have CARIFESTA here in St. Kitts and Nevis once again. I think it's overdue, and it's time once again. That one, I can tell you, would have measurable metrics for tourism in the country. 25 years. Yes. And you have 2 questions. The second one,
tangible benefits.
So that I think I answered that one just now. And But outside of the metrics for tourism, the other benefits that we are hoping, again, goes back to what I was saying, the experiences. Because oftentimes when we are locked into our 68 or 104 square miles, because we have to embrace the fact that we are federation, we are inspired just by what we see, what we experience here. As we go out into the wider Caribbean and we are exposed to more people, more environments, more circumstances, that inspiration increases. And it also develops the skill sets of our people. And that skill set we want to develop by immersing them in those experiences and having them come back here to then further develop the skill sets on the ground. And I believe those are the more tangible benefits that we see coming out of situations and events like CARIFESTA. And we want to ensure that St. Kitts and Nevis is at the forefront of benefiting from those types of experiences. Thank you.
And just to add to what the minister was saying, one of the key things we are looking to achieve from this is the export of our talented people amongst the region. So look at this as an opportunity. There will be thousands of persons present at CARIFESTA, promoters, music producers, investors, etc. And one of the things we are really looking for is to see more of our talented people on international, regional platforms, regional stages. We want to see our products in the supermarkets, in St. Martin, in the Guyana, Grenada. These are very much tangible opportunities that would be available for our persons to take advantage of.
All right. Any further? Yes. Oh.
If I may touch on another component of the
That would be.
from Barbados in 2017 and from Trinidad in 2019, a number of artists were booked for regional and international performances because they were seen in Barbados and seen in Trinidad. So I don't want people to think this is just a fun trip. There's a lot more substance to it. So for example, in 2019, you're in Trinidad and Deli Kane is sitting there with Machel Montano and they're discussing the various dynamics of calypso production, lyrics, writing, and the fellows who write for Machel is there. I stood there and watched them talk. And so that to me, as the commercial say, is priceless.
That's right.
Right? When you see Ruckus hanging out with another guy from Trinidad and they're discussing, similar topics, that is priceless. So fellas like Deli now have performed in Europe. Another employee, the drummer in New Vibes, Karim Herbert, who works with me, he's also in Europe right now. Deli will be going off to Labor Day in Brooklyn. He has done Toronto, he has done Washington. I have him set up for Atlanta Carnival next year. And these are as a result of people seeing him perform in Trinidad. And who's that guy? They even asked for what they call an encore.
Yeah.
When Lucas and Deli performed with the band, the joint band that we took to Trinidad, right? The country night. St. Kitts were the only islands. St. Kitts Nevis were the only islands where they asked for a repeat performance, right? The Masqueraders from Nevis in Trinidad 2019, they too were exposed. Yeah. They have gotten phone calls to go throughout the region, and so I expect the same might happen for the string band. But that is the idea. It's not a fun trip, and so I want to make sure I concretize that point. Thank you.
Yeah. Any further questions from the press? Shafi is actually a hard-working staff member.
No staff member could ask me first. I pulled the shirt out of my closet and it's one of from a CARIFESTA in Guyana.
Oh.
I was scared I wouldn't tear apart, but it helped.
Okay, then if there are no further questions, thank you to all of our speakers at the head table. Deputy Prime Minister, again, thank you for your presence. Honorable Minister Duggins, P.S. Taylor, hardworking Taylor. Director Webb, Jerome, for all of your continued work, and definitely the staff at the Creative Economy, as well as the volunteers, because we do have on the organizing committee some unpaid staff who are really just committed to the creative sector and pushing the work that the creative economy is doing. So really kudos to them. And they are working actually probably harder than some of us who are getting paid. They remind us daily. They really do. But we appreciate them truly. So as our delegation prepares to shine at CARIFESTA 15, we will be posting on social media, so please follow us and keep up to what we're getting into in Barbados with our music, dance, art, and creativity on full display. St. Kitts and Nevis will celebrate its talents with one proud voice. And in case you missed it before, our tagline for our delegation is Culture Loud, SKN Proud. So if I can have you repeat that with me. Culture Loud, SKN Proud. Thank you so much. This concludes today's press conference. Thank you for celebrating culture and creativity with us. Do have a wonderful, dry, cool rest of the day.
Hands up in the air. Time to celebrate. Hands up in